Welcome to today's video, the top 5 mistakes high earners make with their finances. If you are a high earner or if you are looking to become a high earner, make sure and listen to all 5 of these mistakes so you do not make them. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier and without bias, since I do not work for any third parties. All right, let's dive into the top 5 mistakes that high earners make with their finances. The first mistake high earners make is not keeping a budget. This one is really key. I've seen this in my own life when I am tracking my finances, when I know exactly how much is coming in and how much is going out and where it's going out to. I'm able to improve my money situation. A lot of times with high earners, they think, oh, well, I'm making plenty of money, so I don't really need to keep a budget or a spending plan. I'll be just fine. And this is a mistake because then they start spending a lot of their money and they may end up spending even more than they are making. But they don't realize that because they're not willing to track their finances. How many movie stars or singers or celebrities have we seen that have gone bankrupt because they weren't tracking their finances? They didn't actually know how much money they were spending. We do not want that to happen to us. We want to make sure that we know exactly how much is coming in and how much is going out and where it's going out to, so that we can continue to grow our net worth over time. The way I like to keep a budget is by using a Google Sheet and then a free app. It's called Empower. You can hook all of your financial accounts to Empower, and that way you can see your full financial picture in one place very quickly and very simply. Honestly, I check this app pretty much every day. And instead of, getting on social media and checking your Instagram account, you can actually log into Empower and see where you are with your finances. And that way you can start making improvements instead of looking at what other people are doing and saying how they can improve. And the second mistake high earners make with their finances is overspending and lifestyle inflation. They make a lot of money, so they just think they can spend money on whatever they want to. And the higher their pay goes, then the higher their spending goes. For example, they may buy a luxury car. They may have a Toyota or a Honda right now and then decide, oh, you know what? I make more money now. I can definitely have a more expensive car. And then they have a more expensive car payment and higher insurance. And then they're trying to do the maintenance on that car, and that's more expensive. And then another way they might overspend or have that lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep is by improving their living situation. Maybe they have a smaller 2-bedroom place, so they decide, you know what, I can upgrade and I can get a 4-bedroom place. And then they have a higher mortgage payment or a higher rent payment. So they're spending more money that way. And it just goes on and on. They continue to upgrade their clothing. They buy name brands, or even spend more money on organic foods, or they order out more often or have food delivered. So they increase their food costs. And they may even turn some items that were a luxurious item, for example, doing some sort of self-care maybe once every 6 months, like getting a massage or getting their hair colored or their nails done, things like that. And they no longer do it every 6 months, they're doing it every month or even every week. So they increase their spending that way. And it just continues to cycle. The more money they make, then the more money they spend, and they're never actually increasing their net worth. They're never really increasing their assets and decreasing their liabilities. We want to be really careful about this, especially when we are getting raises. We want to have a plan for that raise ahead of time. For example, we can just say, you know what, things are great. My living situation is really great. So when I do receive a raise, I'm automatically going to invest the difference. And speaking of investing, mistake number 3 is failing to invest or even failing to diversify investments. For example, if we are just making so much money, we're thinking, oh, you know what, I can invest later. I'll have plenty of money to invest. but then we never actually get started. We never start investing our money and making it work for us. So that really needs to be a priority, especially with high earners, because they're able to invest even more money, usually if they're not prone to lifestyle inflation. And that way they can build their wealth fairly quickly because they do have quite a bit of money to invest. And speaking of investing, if you want help with investing, I have a coaching program where I help you invest your money. I will leave a link below in the description. You can get the details for the coaching program. And if they are investing their money, they may be investing it in their business or kind of in their career, and they're not really diversifying. They're not actually creating some passive income so that they can live off of that passive income when they are ready to retire. So it's important that we aren't just focused on one way of investing our money, but that we are able to diversify and invest in the stock market or in real estate, things that are going to create passive or semi-passive income for us. And of course, there is a balance to this. We want to increase our education and become really successful in our careers. But if we are already high earners, then we can definitely invest that money into the stock market, for example. We want to make sure that we are investing it in something that is going to be passive for us. If we continue to invest it in our business, that may be good for a point of time. But when we have a business, usually we are working in that business or on that business, so it's not completely passive. And then mistake number 4 that high earners make with their finances is not doing any tax planning. When you are a high earner, you are usually going to pay a lot more in taxes. So you want to make sure that you are doing some tax planning in advance so that you can save some of that money in taxes. For example, you can definitely invest in something that's going to reduce your taxable income currently, like a traditional IRA, or even setting up your own business. If you are currently working for someone else, you can get a lot of tax write-offs by having your own business. And it doesn't have to be a business that is going to take a lot of your time. It can just be something very, very small. For example, you can just set up an LLC, pay that one-time fee every year. That's pretty small, at least in Utah it is. And maybe you just sell one online course or something like that. Or maybe you do coaching occasionally, or you teach piano lessons or something along those lines. It doesn't have to be a full-time gig plus doing your full-time job. But if you have that business set up, you're able to write off your phone bill, and if you're going out to eat and talking about business, and even writing off some of your trips that you may take, things like that. So there is a lot of money you can save by doing a little tax planning in advance. I know for me, I was definitely glad that I set up my own business, and I actually set it up when I still had my 9-to-5 job. So I was able to write off a few things on my taxes because of my business. And then mistake number 5 that high earners make with their finances is neglecting financial education. And this can be in a lot of different ways. But for example, usually with high earners, they are so focused on building up their career. For example, with doctors, I know this happens a lot. They want to, of course, build up their career and become the best doctor possible, but then they kind of neglect how to actually manage their income, and they're making a significant amount, but they just never took the time to learn those financial skills. So while they are an amazing doctor, their finances are in disarray. And sometimes they may think, well, I can just make more money and not have to worry about educating myself about finances so much. But the thing is, the more that we can educate ourselves about our finances, then the more money we are actually going to have, because it really is about what we do with the money we are making and not about how much money we are making. The more financial literate we can become, then the more we can do with those high salaries. Comment below and tell me if you have seen anyone that has been prone to some of these mistakes. I'm curious to know. And like I mentioned before, if you are interested in becoming better with your money and learning to set up a budget and learning to invest, I have a coaching program which I help you do all of these things. If you're interested in that, I will leave a link below in the description. You can click on the link and check out the coaching program. And if you found this video helpful, make sure and share it with someone. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. That will really help my channel out and we can get this content out to more people. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.